Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, we're going to play the land Atraxa, or the land ramp deck, but with Atraxa Grand Unifier. So the idea is I wanted to switch it up a little and try out different payoffs with the land ramp outside of the doppelganger, right? So this deck has Atraxa. Does not have Memory Deluge, funny enough, but what it does have is the good old combo of up the Beanstalk with Leyline Binding. Also, it combos a little bit with Virtue of Strength, and so this deck draws a lot of cards. I've seen some deck run Sunfall, because Sunfall works really well with up the Beanstalk, because you draw a card while you board wipe. What I feel like this deck could serve a lot better with is Ill-Time Explosion. It's 1 mana less, and against control, when you want to draw a card, you're going to draw 2 cards. Against aggro, drawing a card doesn't really matter. You want to be able to board wipe them a little bit earlier, so the 4 mana actually helps. That's why this deck has 4 Ill-Time Explosion and no Sunfall. So let's talk about exactly how this deck works, because I think almost everyone knows about the combo with Aftermath Analyst, bringing back these are not triumphs. Whatever these are called, the 3 color fetch lands from Cabaretti. So the idea is that we can play these, get some lands, play Aftermath Analyst, and sack him on the same turn because it costs 6 total to play, and then sack him right away to get, well, all the lands in our graveyard, basically reanimate all land from our graveyard. So if we have all these fetch lands, they come back, we fetch them all over again, and we get all the lands we need from our deck into play. Not in our hand, just into play. Alright, so Aftermath Analyst works very well. And because she is an elf detective, we can combo that with Nissa, Resurgent, Animist. Nissa also allows us to do the Lotus Cobra thing, landfall, get a mana, but also, but if the landfall is our, I think, second trigger, or the second time the landfall triggered each turn, we also get to top deck until we reveal an elf or an elemental and put that into our hand. Well, we can just keep revealing until we get another Nissa or an Aftermath Analyst into our hand. So this combo works very well in the current standard metagame. In addition to all of that, we also have 4 up the Beanstalk to also draw. So in the early game, 2-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, that's basically all we want to have, right? We have a hidden 1-drop in terms, or actually 2 hidden 1-drops, in terms of 4 Leyline Binding and 3 Virtue of Strength. Don't look at the Virtue of Strength, look at here, right? The Gearberg Growth. That is the 1 mana sorcery, return target creature or land from our graveyard into our hand. Well, guess what? If we have these fetch lands in our graveyard on turn 1, turn 2, we can just bring them back into our hand and play it again. All these fetch lands giving us 1 life every time they're played. So even against aggro, they're not dead when we run out of lands. We still get life for just them entering the battlefield. So this is pretty good in the early game, into the mid game. Now this is after 3 mana, we're going to go to the 4 mana play, which is 4 Ill-Time Explosion or Worldsoul's Rage. You might think Worldsoul's Rage is not a 4 mana. A lot of times we'll play it for 4 mana just to get 2 triggers, or 2 for X, to get 2 of the lands. So that ramp us from turn 4 having 4 lands into all of a sudden having 6 lands, and turn 5 maybe having 7 lands to play Atraxa. And if we don't have 7 lands to play Atraxa, we always have Shigeki to recycle the rest of the deck, and then to Atraxa to top it off, right? So Atraxa gives us a lot of card draws like a Memory Deluge would. So that is the idea of this deck. The combo also works really well when you have Shigeki, because the Gearberg Growth can bring back Shigeki to our hand, and then Shigeki can be channeled to bring back Virtue of Strength if our opponent destroys it, or any of these other cards that we might need any point in the game. Now, to top it all off, this deck is very land heavy. So we actually have half the deck filled with lands, 30 lands total. We have 4 Brokers Hideout, 4 Cabaretti Courtyard, 4 Maestros Theater, and 2 Obscura Storefront. So we have a lot of fetch lands. There's a total of 14 fetch lands. We want to have a lot of forest fetch lands, right? A lot of these are green. So Brokers Hideout is the Bant one, Cabaretti Courtyard is the Naya one, and then Maestro Theater is the, I believe this is the Grixix one, and Obscura Storefront is the Esper one, right? So these are the non-forests. We have 8 forests and 6 non-forest fetches that basically we'll be able to fetch out Domain very easily. And once we get Domain, Leyline Binding is a 1 mana card. So we have 4 plains, 2 islands, 1 swamp, 3 mountain, and 6 forests. It actually is funny, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 6. So the reason for that is because, well, a lot of the deck is green, so we want to naturally have forests. We have Leyline Binding, which means we want a lot of white. In fact, not just one white mana. We want to have multiple planes in case we want to cast multiple Leyline Binding in a turn. We also want to have 2 islands. Islands are going to be very helpful in getting Ill-Time Explosion, 3 mountain, because we need mountains to cast both the Ill-Time Explosion and the Worldsoul Rage. And then we have to have at least 1 swamp to trigger Domain, and also to cast Atraxa. We're not going to cast Atraxa more than once a turn, so 1 swamp should be enough. So that's the whole deck list. Pretty fun, you know, different spin on the land ramp deck. Now let's go into the games. All right, our opponent is Fatty Guy. Fatty, you're a guy. Cool. We're gonna go first. We got an Analyst into Nissa. Good enough of a keep. Probably gonna go in reverse of that, but let me get a Forest first. I already said hi. Not gonna say it again. Are they aggro? They are control, maybe. So Cabaretti Courtyard and get a forest, mountain, or plains. Maybe we'll get a plains out or mountain. This can get us an island, so let's get a plains out. No, I mean I just get a mountain out. This can get us a plains. I don't know. It really depends on how many counter spells he may have. That's a mountain. Is this domain? That would be quite interesting if they're domain, but I guess we'll start landing stuff. See what happens. Here's a Resurgent Animist. Lightning Helix. Cool. We gotta do something, right? We gotta land on board with something, but unfortunately Nissa kicks a bucket. Cornucopia. Alrighty. So I could up the Beanstalk and Worldsoul Rage for 2 next turn. Is that better? I mean, I Worldsoul Rage for 3 next turn, right? Let's go up the Beanstalk first. It's another land. Let's try to get I guess an island. I don't have a plains either. I think it's a plains. Still need an island, but so we can get there. He has his Beanstalk, cool. I wonder if he has counterspells. Guess we'll find out. No, we'll get 3 lands. Cool. Let's get ourselves a island, because we can right now. Then let's get ourselves a forest. Oh, let's get a plain. We have forest in hand. And then we'll get ourselves a forest. Yeah. So that happened. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will land a Beanstalk, and it will Atraxa them. Let me draw? It does let me draw. This is a lot of cards. I guess a lot of things I can throw in the graveyard, right? Let's see what Atraxa can get us. Definitely don't want to show I have a Shigeki. Actually, it's not like he can discard. We'll get a Maestro and a Worldsoul Rage. That's a bunch of cards, right? Well, and our turn, the Atraxa's probably getting removed, but that's fine. How many cards? 3 cards. Just discard all the lands. Seems fine. Oh, he's gonna play his Atraxa. No, he's just gonna Sunfall for now. Get a 2/2 out. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, Doesn't really hurt. I don't really care. Alright, so this can allow me to get a Virtue, but let's take all 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 9 mana. I don't know why I counted over the total number. I guess... yeah, I have no idea. So we'll Virtue our Nissa first. Then we'll play the Virtue. Did I play the land yet? I'd already played the land, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I still have 9. So I play this. I still have 6 mana, which is enough for Aftermath Analyst. I believe that's how it works. I'm gonna deck myself out. Mill 3. Activate the ability. Let's get all the basic lands out of the deck now. That's the last island. Last forest. Last forest. Think I'm out now. Yep. Decline. Oh, no. Still have a mountain. And then I can decline whatever this is. Yep. Cool. 32 life. Gotta discard a card. Yeah, definitely don't need any more up the Beanstalk. 23 cards left. Still plenty of Worldsoul's Rage if he doesn't have a counter spell. I think he's pretty much out of it. Leyline Binding is pretty good for our opponent, but also not that bad for us, because I can just bind their Leyline Binding. Plays the Atraxa. Definitely not what our opponent wanted to do here. Boseiju. Does he have a plane? Ah, it's the Invasion of Archivals. I like that card. I think it's a pretty good card, but yeah. Fatty guy, you definitely don't want to play Domain. In a current meta, it just kind of gets outpaced by almost anything. He has no mana, which means he has no place. We go 1 mana Leyline. We get a Virtue anyways, but this is a 1 mana Virtue basically. Take out his Leyline. I don't know how much this is, but let's just go with a number. Right, he's tapped out. He can't do anything. I'm gonna deal 25. Draw 2 cards, and GG. It's a lot. Worldsoul Rage is a lot, especially backed up with all the Beanstalks. Alright, our opponent is Koro. I don't know what that means. Opponent goes first. Obscura, Maestro. Maestro, wow, okay, so still no forests. I guess we'll mulligan this. There's some forests. We can put a Maestro back. We put a forest back. Actually, we got no sort of a payoff. That's kind of scary. Alright, we'll put a forest back because I want all these life-gaining lands. So this has to get us a mountain. This has to get us an island. Right? I think that's how it works. So this gets no mountain, so this will get us a mountain. And we might have to play the Shigeki just to have a blocker out. Against Boros, I think it's fine. If they case it, see at least 1 less removal that we have to do worry. Oh, well, a few less mana for them to invest. That makes sense. Hope I don't only draw lands. That's the scariest part, right? If I only draw lands from this point on, I can't actually get anywhere. Even with all the life gain. Wow. That whiff Oh, get a load of that whiff. Let's get an island. Right, this gets an island. No attacks will enter. We can now activate Shigeki whenever, so free blocks against the Night Iron at least. Unless they have a case. That's not a case. So far we've only drawn lands, which is very scary. And it also kind of means that whenever I activate Shigeki, I probably won't have any more lands. 30 lands in the deck. So they don't want to attack with this Warden. Makes sense. Doesn't actually push that much damage through though. Wow, okay. See, I knew I was gonna miss. Well, at least I can ill-time explosion and get rid of this big board. Big scary board. Discard 2 cards. Do I need to untap land at any of these points? Probably not, right? You can have a 1/1 bat. It's a lot less scary when it's just a 1/1 bat. And I'm gaining life every turn. Night Iron for 1. Enjoy it. Okay, so I don't want to play the Shigeki out anymore. None of these gets a swamp. Does this get swamp? None of these get swamps. So I guess I'll have to get a green owl, which is a forest. Cabaretti, give me a forest. I need 2 greens for Shigeki, so let's do that. What can I actually get back? Get an Aftermath Analyst and a Worldsoul Rage or a No-Time Explosion. Get rid of the Night Iron with my Leyline. Get a forest anyways. Okay. Well, I don't know. This has not been well. At least I can Shigeki for 2 cards, right? If he wants to burst me this turn, it doesn't do damage. And I can war wipe him next turn. So far, only draw lands. Unless we activate Shigeki, then all the non-lands go away. This is a lot of damage. A lot of damage indeed, but not lethal, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 is not 21. Anyone who's ever played Blackjack knows that that is not how the game is going. 2 cards, please. Let's get an Ill-Time Explosion and a Aftermath Analyst. So we have to Ill-Time Explosion first. See what we can get. Now we have to discard 2 cards, so let's discard a land and a Worldsoul Rage for 4 to the board. No? Analyst for 2 to the board? No. Probably... You know what? Worldsoul Rage for 4 to the board. Alright, now I'll play an Analyst as a father. They can definitely kill the Analyst. We'll even play a Brokers Hideout just to gain that extra life and get a forest. I'm out of cards, right? This is only going to gain me life and nothing else, but you know, it's not the end of the world here. Lethal Demolition for 3/1/1s. No recruit. It's important. No recruiter, right? Recruiter will probably kill me here. All right, this is not legendary. Okay, blinks. Play a second Analyst. Now we have 2 blockers. And we get to mill 3 cards. I mean, this is kind of showing how important it is to have Memory Deluge. Because milling Memory Deluge is what wins us games. in the original deck. And in this version of the deck, because I don't have that, it's a little bit finicky. Wow, okay, nice top deck. I guess we'll just block randomly here. Here and here. 2 blocks. We'll sack 1. I think that's a lot of life gain, right? I should say. Also takes out all of the lands from the deck. All of the basic lands, at least. I think it's already out. We drew all of the basic lands in the deck without drawing any cards that can pay off. Wow, that happens. That happens sometimes. I think for playing Magic, it almost happens every time. I'm at 9 still. Okay, Virtue. Virtue is pretty important, right? I could definitely utilize it. Use the 1 to bring back a Shigeki. So how many lands do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I gain 9 life with the activation. There's 10 damage on board. Right, that's the scary part. There is 10 damage on board. I gain 9 life. I'm at 18 effectively. So if he has any big buff, he would probably kill me. So gotta keep 4 open to activate the Analyst. Novice Inspector does 1 damage. It draws him a card. At least it's not Night Errant. And as soon as I say it, he's probably gonna draw it. Okay. So it's not a playable where he would have played it, right? Decline. Decline. Can I decline all? Decline. Stupid Boros. Making me do all this. Should have just quit. It's probably a World Leader's Call that he drew because it jumps straight to... I need to put a stop here. Pass to damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think it's QQ, right? Alright, so 1, 2, 3. This is 12 plus 5 is 17. 17 minus 2 is 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So I can get 7 cards back. Let's get back our Virtue, definitely. Worldsoul's Rage. This. That's 6. Did I get back all the cards yet? That's 7. There. Used up all my mana. Then I'll take your damage. Alright. Let's see if our opponent still wants to play this game. We'll get a Shigeki. We'll play our Virtue. Now every one of our land adds like 4,000 mana. So let's just Worldsoul Rage for 30. Do I have 30? I think it'll be pretty easy to get 30 from. Yeah, let's just submit 1. There you go, minus 10. I don't know why you stayed. Alright, our opponent is 0915. That quick and simple. Go first. This is a green. This is a green with 2 up the Beanstalk and a Nissa, so let's do it. We'll say hi. Let's get a forest. And hopefully draw some better cards. Swamp. Alright. Tiny Bones. Cool. I got no permanents for him to get, so for now it's fine. Worldsoul's Rage. Deep Cavern Bat. What would they target? Worldsoul Rage or Ill-Time Explosion or up to Beanstalk? There's a lot. Or Nissa. Nissa's a pretty good card, but I would not target that because, yeah, I still probably would have hit the Beanstalk, to be fair, because I'm not in danger of dying, and Beanstalk is what I want to do this turn. Cool. What can this even bring back? Mountain, forest, or plains, huh? Well, that's exactly what I wanted. So. Virtue for this little guy back so I get a mountain. Tenacious underdog. Alright. That is very aggressive. I could get a mountain here. I don't think it does much. You get 2 mana to get an Aftermath Analyst. I still don't think that does much. I can't really hold back, right? So Nissa, I play a land. I get 2 mana. And I get another elf. Nissa dies next turn. Or I get a mountain this way. If I get a mountain this way, next turn I'll have 5 mana, which is not doing much either. So guess I'll have to do it here like this. Maybe I'll get another Nissa. Definitely get a mountain. Let's get a island going. Why do I get double trigger? Oh, because I already activated. So, let's see. I could play Aftermath Analyst, but it'll just die, right? Will it just die? He's got 3. He's going to have 4 mana. It's definitely enough to kill my board. But do I get anywhere if I don't do this right now? Yeah, let's do it. Fill up the mana. Aftermath Analyst. Atraxa. Oh, jeez. Okay, that's bad. I guess he can't cast Atraxa. Not yet. Virtue. Okay. So that little guy dies. And do I block with Nissa? He wants me to. I don't think he wants me to block with Nissa. Right? I get an extra mana. I mean, he loses all his pressure. I get 2 mana. I got 3 mana that way. Not gonna be able to get an island this way, unfortunately, but at least I'll get a mountain now. Yeah, not gonna use the Aftermath Analyst here because I can use it next turn. Go for the throw Nissa, that's fine. Mirix. Attack. Yeah, I mean, he's dealing damage, but it's not the end of the world, right? Preacher's scary. I still don't draw an island, but, you know, we'll get there. He knows I have Ill-Time Explosion. There's an island, there's 2 islands. Okay, goodbye. I think that's good enough. I don't think anything he does here will matter from this point on. Draws a card. Good for him. Block the biggest damage. Activate the ability. Get all of our lands back. And also gain 3 life. So all the 3 life he dealt this turn is more or less negated. See, yeah, there's no match for mono black. Not enough tempo. Alright, our opponent is what is that? Ochi? Osa? I don't know. Doesn't matter. 48. Let's see. This gets not force, and this gets yes force. We have a Worldsoul Rage. I think I'm gonna keep. Having a Worldsoul Rage means that I can already bring these back. I have a force. Alright, let's keep. I think it's fine. We don't get to go first, so that's kind of scary. Second Worldsoul Rage is fine. Let's get a forest into play already. The Beanstalk. Alright, let's see if he wants to counter this. I think it's fine. No counter? No counter is great for me. He's gonna regret not countering it. I mean, this might be Temple. Cabaretti can get me a mountain, plains, or is it plains? Yeah, forest or plains. It's gonna give me a swamp. What the heat? What did you just play? Jace?
Surrender your mind to Phyrexia's will.
Okay. I guess I will have to surrender my mind to Phyrexia as well.
We can
What did he do?
of your ideas.
Put it to 1? Does he think I can't kill the Jace at 1? Alright.
I will
If he insists,
performance.
I will ramp myself. Esper Control. Pretty interesting way to play it, to be fair. I don't know if anything here I play will be good against an Esper Control deck. I want to be able to cast for 5, but I can't, right? So if I Virtue, I'll just counter it, but then he won't be able to Emperor. Let's Elton Explosion first. Maybe I'll counter this. He doesn't counter, so I'll decline. I will Cabaretti or Maestro. I don't think it matters. Let's get a Swamp out. I don't actually have a Plains, funny enough. That might have mattered. I should have brokered, and I thought I had a Plains out. This doesn't get Plains. So he's holding on to his Emperor. I don't know. Memory Deluge, maybe? Throwing out that Jace out was really weird, but he did what he wants, so let me get myself a Swamp. I don't know what the rope was for. I'm pretty sure. Nothing? Okay. Well, Esper Control with nothing is weird. Naturally draw a plane. That's pretty good. If I play this and he counters it, do I cry? I think a little bit, right? And there is no stick on... Ooh, okay. So... yeah, there is a stick on the mill 3, so he can react to the mill 3. That means that I don't want to just... I do want to have a land out for that. So do I do it this way? Guess I'll have to. Three steps ahead, so he's gonna counter and draw 2 cards. Cool. I mean, not cool, but it happened. I'll Virtue it back. Did I Virtue in Nissa? I think I'll Virtue in Nissa. It's better. No, Virtue Shigeki is way better. Oh, they're all good cards. This is where the choices are gonna hurt. Ah, Shigeki's better. Always Virtue Shigeki, I think. Field of Ruin? Oh, good luck. Can't Field of Ruin anything in this deck. I think he can Field of Ruin these, but I'm not sure. Because when it enters the battlefield, I sack it already, right? So doesn't it just lose the ability to Field of Ruin it? Guess we'll find out. Let's go get another Plains. Also, don't think if it matters if he gets the Field of Ruin or not. Up the Beanstalk with Leyline is perfect counter to control deck. But they do have Farewell, so when that hits, that's gonna hurt. If our opponent doesn't do anything, I guess we won't do anything. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. I can get 3 cards back right now with Shigeki. If he doesn't do anything. I think I'll just do that. Getting 3 cards back is pretty good. He's gonna have to play something, right? 3 steps ahead just to draw some cards? Cool. Pretty sure you want to keep your counterspell for counterspell's sake, but I'm pretty sure this is a deck that runs Devious Cover-Up. Very greedy kind of Esper control deck. Probably always die to mono red and then cries about it. Like what I always do. We're gonna have a long drawn out control game. 2 attackers, nothing. Analyst, Real-Time Explosion, Worldsoul Rage. Will you let that happen? Or will you have a Tashanas? No Tashanas. Do I ill-time? Should play a land first then, if that's the case, right? Mountain Forest Plains. I think I still have more mountains in the deck, so let's get the Mountain Forest Plains down. See, you want to counter this? You threw away your counterspell pretty easily. Another 3 steps ahead. There's a lot of counterspells going on here. Alright, so I still have Worldsoul's Rage, but he... Oh no, he can't counter this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is 4, right? I draw a card. 4 to his face. 1, 2, 3. I think that's 1 of each. We'll get the plains out of the graveyard. I already thinned out my deck anyways. This way at least I get all the lands out. So island, mountain, forest. Cool. Now I got a lot more mana.
The weak-minded will be educated in Phyrexia's ways.
Yeah, sounds about right. Did I just die?
The knowledge we
I said 15. Second Jace?
were for nothing.
No second Jace. Probably still has a counterspell, right? I wonder what I can do. I don't have a Virtue here. That would be pretty bad. I think I should... I could cast a Virtue. Could I cast a Virtue here? If he has his 3rd Jace, I die anyway. So here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's not quite there. It's actually almost there. Just not quite. I don't know why it's tapping. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's Virtue. Does he let this out? He lets this out. So we will Maestros Theater again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So let's see it. I think I get an extra 1 mana, yeah. Let's see it. Do you have a counterspell? No? Well, should have held up a counterspell. Worldsoul Rage to the face. Goodbye. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you've seen all of those games, how did you feel about this deck? I love it. I mean, it's another one of those land ramp decks. It plays pretty similar, and basically we win by Worldsoul raging our opponent in the face. For a lot, every one of these games has been that. Now, there is no doppelgang, so not a lot of math was involved in this game. You just kind of see how much your opponent's life is and just click the button here that says +5 until that number is higher than your opponent's life total, and Worldsoul's rage will kill them that way. So that's basically how we play almost every game. It does help to have Atraxa Grand Unifier. Our opponent really don't see it coming, and when we land Atraxa, it's a big reload, and also a life linker on the board so that our opponent can't really press the tempo. Now, the old land ramp deck, well, what it was missing, I feel like in a lot of scenario, was steady card draw, right? So we're gonna have Aftermath Analyst, we have Nissa, the Resurgent Animist, and what happened is that a lot of times we get all the mana, and then we can't do really anything with them. We get to fix that right now with Up the Beanstalk, Leyline Binding, and Virtue of Strength. So the idea is that Up the Beanstalk will always draw us cards because we have all these big plays, right? Leyline Binding with Up the Beanstalk is definitely a draw. Virtue of Strength is always a draw. And if we cast Worldsoul Rage for X equals 3 or more, it's always a draw. So we get a lot of card draw with the deck. And as soon as we hit one Shigeki in the graveyard, every Virtue of Strength is an additional Shigeki because of the Gearbrig growth. I said that correctly. And that is why I think this deck can put up numbers. I think this deck can give the original Worldsoul Rage Aftermath Analyst land ramp deck a run for its money. It does not have Memory Deluge, I give you that. But in terms of not having a card draw, the impulse, the burst card draw from Memory Deluge, we get that from the steady card draw with Up the Beanstalk. Might be just as good. Really, that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.